Richard Crisp, when he arrived in Brazil, he fell for a black woman.
He married a black woman.
He married a black woman, and he had 11 kids.
Only 11?
Only 11. So I'm descendant from that tree, that family tree.
You're listening to Quorum Radio.
Hey folks, Bill from Quorum Radio. Please do me a big favor and give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share. Thanks so much for tuning into Quorum Radio on Best Book Network. Quorum Radio now on with Joao Leopoldo Padoveze. He's president of the Brazil's famous Fraternity of American Descendants, the nonprofit organization that preserves the Campo Cemetery in Santa Bárbara d'Este in Sao Paulo State, Brazil, where the remains of approximately 33 U.S. Civil War veterans and their families are buried. He's a self-described humble little red-pilled redneck. He's descended from American families who immigrated to Brazil after the U.S. Civil War, ended the antebellum Southern way of life. His Twitter profile, should you be interested in finding out more, is at JL Padoveze, which is spelled the JL, and then P like Peter, A like Apple, D like Dennis, O, V like Victory, E like Edward, Z like Zebra, E like Edward. All right. And he's, if you go to his Twitter profile, you'll see a beautiful picture of the Confederate flag on a night background, a lit night background, quite dramatic. And with the words, retake everything in capital letters, emblazoned across the top, and the motto, when tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. And every year, his organization, the Fraternity of American Descendants, holds a festival called Festa Confederada. This is the man who guards carefully the identity of the Confederados. Joao Leopoldo Padoveze, it's great to have you on Quorum Radio. How are you today?
I'm great. It's good to be here.
I finally track you down. I mean, I've been interested in getting in touch with people from your organization for a couple of years. Okay, how about that? So
I never thought, because we are, I don't know, we just live in the day of today and take care of our things, and we never thought that anyone else could be interested or try to reach us. But
you don't think so, did you? Well, I got news for you. We've known about you and your organization and Los Confederados for a long time. I remember there was an article in National Geographic about your people. So anyway, here I am. I'm talking a lot. I wanted to give you an introduction so that people know who you are and your organization. Though you need to tell us more. Please tell us about your organization, the Fraternity of American Descendants, who you people are.
Well, the fraternity born in 1954, so 66 years old, and was created by the families to preserve the Campo Cemetery. That's where our families are buried, and the cemetery itself starts in 1868. After the wife of Colonel Oliver dies from tuberculosis. She just traveled from the U.S. to Brazil already sick, and she passed away in Brazil, and Colonel Oliver buried her at the Becker farm. And the next year, the two daughters of Colonel Oliver already died also, and he buried the daughters by the mother, and so Colonel Oliver allowed those families to bury their loved ones in that place, in that space in his farm. So that starts a new cemetery in the city, only to the American families. So that started in 1868. They built a chapel in 1871. And that chapel is not the first chapel, but we have a chapel in the same place, the same spot until today. And in 1954, the families decided to create an organization to take care of the cemetery and the culture and the things that the history and the stuff. So after 66 years, here am I. Today I'm the president, because in Brazil, organization like a non-profit organization has a president and another directors, and I'm responsible to preserve the cemetery and preserve the culture and the stuff.
Yeah, so you're basically the curator of the Confederados. You are Mr. Confederado himself. The Ronald Lee of Brazil.
Yeah, I have since I was a kid, I started to be part of the festival and the things about the cemetery. So I kind of grow up. For me, it's natural. Like it's a family thing. We get together in the place, and since I was 15, 16, I be part of the festival. So today I'm the responsible to make the festival.
Let me ask you a question. How many people go to the festival, and which month is it held in?
We held out every year in April. Always April. Last Sunday of April.
And how many people show up? How many people attend the event in April?
We have a year that we have 3,500, 3.5K. So it's start like a family reunion. So it's been more than 32 editions, because we have some years that we can't be we're not able to perform the festival. So we have 32 editions already, and start like a family gathering. So then the other people start to join, and people in Brazil that likes the Confederate history and like the Civil War, like the Southern way of living, the Southern culture, the music, and then they start to join us. And
great.
Today is a big event. We have to.
And I'm sure you didn't go for the girls, right?
Sorry?
I mean, when you were 16, you weren't interested in meeting girls. I know, right? Correct. It was all history. You just loved Southern.
Yeah,
history,
but we go to a festival where everyone is family, so we have just cousins and stuff. That's not too.
Just for the friendship. You don't want to dance with any girls.
Yeah. I actually dance with my sister all the time, but what's the fun in that?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, no fun kissing your sister. Anyway, great. So then it sounds like it's been a lot of fun. And how many? First question: how many? These were all, by the way, Confederate soldiers and their families that left the United States, or Southerners and Confederate soldiers, or mostly Confederate soldiers, or what?
Was more about all the families that were not happy with the end of the war. So we have we know what happened to the South in the end of the war. So the South was destroyed, and a a lot of people want to try something new. And Brazil was already inviting Americans to come to Brazil.
Really?
So Dom Pedro II has a plan, the emperor, he has a plan to bring Americans to Brazil to develop the agriculture.
Right. And so when the Confederates came, were they farmers and soldiers or what?
There a lot of different people. There are farmers. There are the first one to arrive in Santa Barbara was the Colonel William Norris from Alabama. He was a senator in Alabama. He did not fight in the Civil War. He was a veteran for the Mexican War.
American War. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was already 65 years old when he arrived in Brazil. But he bought a piece of a farm and start to plant and stuff.
Plant and have a farm and
he was the one that work out. His farm did go well, and then he started inviting others.
Right, and so was it mostly sugarcane that they cultivated?
No. They didn't plant sugarcane. They started cotton, watermelon. It was fun because Brazil is especially just work with coffee in that time, in that period of time. Right. Brazil was strong in planting coffee, but the Americans came to bring the cotton, because the cotton that they used to grow in America was better to the production of the textile.
Sure. It was suited to Brazil's soil, its climate.
Yeah, great. And the emperor wanted to invest in that market. He wanted to sell cotton to Europe too. So he brought the best ones in the world to plant cotton.
Great. So then the Confederados came. They were in total, I think, but there were like 20,000 in total. How many? Was that right?
20, 30 is hard to tell because it's hard to find the registers. So
sure.
we stipulate something like 30,000.
So okay, and so how many today in Brazil are descended from those 30,000 Confederates?
I really can't tell because
must be a lot. Must be 500,000.
A lot. I give an example of my family. I descend directly from two families, from Albert G. Carr, and Richard Crisp. Crisp was from Texas. Carr, I don't remember if it was from Florida or. I need to get back to my papers. And Richard Crisp, when he arrived in Brazil, he fell for a black woman.
He married a black woman.
And he had 11 kids.
Only 11?
Only 11. So I'm descendant from that family tree.
Really?
So I'm descendant from a Civil War veteran and a black woman. So we have.
Was she, by the way, an American black or a Brazilian?
No, Brazilian.
Right. Wow. So then, and what's funny is my dad was from the South, and I just remember, but I was born in New York because he ended up moving to New York when he was a little kid, when he was like 10 or 12, and I remember driving down to Florida, and during in March of one year, and seeing Confederate flags everywhere on cars, on trucks. And people were always very nice and all. What's your reaction when you see people saying that's racist? And I've seen your picture before, which I'll have to put up, because you're not somebody who's like white, like, Robert E. Lee. I mean, you're somebody who's of obviously mixed race, So how do you feel when people say that, oh my gosh, it's a racist organization, Black Lives Matter?
My first reaction is I don't respond because I don't know. I feel kind of sad. I feel sad for the person because, you don't like to study too much. You don't like to know about your own history. So why should I care about what you think?
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's amazing when you study your family history. Start with your fathers, then go to your grandfathers. I think my grandfather, I met my father's father. I never met my mother's father because he died when she was very young. But I love my grandfather. He taught me a lot. So I respect that. And I like to know more who taught that things to him so he can pass to me. And I like to study. So when I see a person who call me racist because of the flag, or because of the way I dress, because I drive a pickup truck, or because I like to listen to Skinner, I don't know. Go find something to do. I don't know. In Brazil, we say something like, go get a tool and go